Canelo cleaning up 168. Hey, what is going on, boxing fans, community, family, Renee Box Young? I thank everyone, each and every one of you, for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your love and support, man. It's so much fun chopping it up with each and every one of you when I go live. Thank you for tuning into my lives. Subscribers who have been with me since day one, man, it's all love. All the new subscribers also, welcome to Renee Box Young platform. You know what I mean? It's all for love of the sport of boxing. I want to get right to this. Canelo Alvarez wants to clean up 168. Okay, I want to talk about this. I want to break this down a little bit. So let's get right to it, man. I want to share this with you as far as here. Let's check out the rankings, okay? So he wants to clean up 168, and I want to highlight something he said recently. Link in the description, box.live.com, etc., etc. You can check it out. You already know. So he said in a recent interview, actually before we get to the rankings, right here, Celis, Ricardo Celis, you know, he's a reporter and stuff. Link in the description, check him out, etc., etc. Check it out. So he says here, it's in Spanish, but I want to, you know, you're going to hear a little Spanish right now. Nice, man. I'm going to translate it. It says, interesantes las palabras de Canelo. Canelo team y yo tenemos la meta. This is, you know, Canelo speaking. Y yo tenemos la meta a corto plazo de ganar todos los títulos en las 168 libras, comenzando por Caleb Smith. So what he's saying there is that he has a short-term goal in getting the titles at 168, starting with Caleb Smith. So that's a short-term goal. Now, when you talk about short-term goal, you're talking about I think 2021, we're going to see Canelo fighting constantly, maybe every 3 months, one after the other. Boom, 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 boom. Now, you know, we already know Canelo, he sleeps in the gym, man. That guy, he just lives in the gym, man. He's always training. So I think he's going to be quite active in 2021. And he wants to make up for the loss of the whole year, man, with the, you know, the whole lawsuit and all that stuff, whatever. He wasn't really active in 2020. So, yeah, so I think that we're going to see in 2021, he's going to make up for the lack of activity that he's had in professional fighting, at least, you know, in the ring, you know, fighting in the ring. Adding to his career, what have you. And so I think we're going to see a lot of Canelo 2021. Now, I want to focus on something here, okay? Now, let's get back to the boxing, you know, the rankings here. So you got here at 168, okay? So he wants to clean out the division at 168. So you have Billy Joe Saunders, WBO, you know, at the latest update, at least with Box.live. I think it's quite updated, but I'm not sure how updated it is, how recent it is, but whatever. Okay, we got WBO, Billy Joe Saunders at 168, IBF 168, Kill Plant. You got the vacant, obviously, you guys already know that David Benavidez, he you know, his title was stripped of him because he missed out on weight. You already know the story. So he's apparently here. This is what I don't really understand, but whatever. It is what it is. David is #1 for that vacant title. Okay? So obviously Saul Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Smith. Saul Canelo Alvarez, he won. Okay? So, yeah, I know. It sounds like I'm speaking future tense like it already happened, but, you know, the time I post this video, by the time I post the video, it's going to be before the fight. So, but Saul won, okay? Go to my final thoughts video and the live session I had, and I explained it all. And a lot of community thinks the same, but at the same time, some community thinks, oh, you know, it's going to be a big fight. It's going to be tough. You know, Smith might do something. You know, I understand. Anything can happen in boxing. But Saul Canelo Alvarez, man, I think he's going to take out Smith. He's going to take him out, so it is what it is. So we're going to see Canelo's face right there soon, okay? So, so now, I want to highlight a couple things. One of the things I want to highlight is that, you know, Avni Yildirim, somehow, some way, I don't know what they did, WBC, they have it arranged where the winner between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Smith can go ahead and fight WBC or whatever. Saul Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Avni Yildirim next. What I'm trying to say here is that Avni Yildirim, WBC organized somehow, some way, that Yildirim is going to be the first one to get the shot at this vacant WBC belt. Okay? So, and this is what happened some time ago. You know, Saul Canelo Alvarez talked about, you can just tell, and this was months ago, that, you know, they wanted the fight. Saul Canelo Alvarez, WBC, they wanted Canelo to fight Yildirim some time ago, a couple days after David Benavidez was stripped of that title. So his eye was on this anyways, Saul Canelo Alvarez. I already knew it, and I already talked about it. I'm almost positive that's going to happen soon. So after he fights Smith, after he beats him, most likely that will happen. Saul, you know, Canelo is gonna go over here and he's gonna fight Avni Yildirim. Okay? And what he said here is that he wants to clean out 168 in a short-term period. So what most likely is going to happen, right? It depends on what happens, you know what I'm saying, with time and how things develop. But He's going to jump over here, fight Yildirim next after beating Smith, and then he's going to jump up here. Now, we got to understand that Billy Joe Saunders, okay? Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade just went live earlier talking about it. Recent news, you know, as far as Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders, they're talking about fighting possibly mid-February or the end of February. So, and Caleb Plant, if I'm not mistaken, is going to fight in January 30th against Caleb Trow. Okay, I'm sorry, pronunciation. I'm bad with names. You already know. Caleb. So it's going to be Caleb versus Caleb. Interesting, isn't it? So around I think it's January 30th. So the end of January, these guys are going to fight. The mid or end of February, Billy Joe Saunders and Andrade are going to fight. So I don't know if Billy Joe Saunders is going to move down to 160 to fight Demetrius Andrade. So if that's the case, you have the belt here still, WBO. Okay, so that's most likely what's going to happen. The reason why I say all this is to explain it. So Saul Canelo Alvarez beats Smith, jump over to Abney to fight him and get that WBC belt, which is going to be easy work because Abney Yildirim got smashed by Chris Eubank. I don't do the triangles theory, but we know Saul Canelo Alvarez and Abney Yildirim, that's a big mismatch in my humble opinion. Okay, so then he's going to jump over here, and Caleb Plant is going to fight earlier than Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade, according to plan and what they're putting on Twitter or whatever. So we'll see if that happens, but he's probably going to fight and jump over fight Caleb Plant next. Okay, that's a fight I want to see. That's going to be nice. And then after that, he'll jump over and fight Billy Joe Saunders. And I personally think he's going to fight at least 3 times next year, Canelo Alvarez. So I think that's what we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what we're going to see. Now, another thing I want to highlight and talk about is this. Okay, let me just go ahead and put this nice thumbnail right. Yeah, bam. Okay, so what I think is going to happen is that I got to highlight something. Seems like a lot of people really are not talking about it, and it caught my attention. Canelo said this since time ago. He said it months ago. Or I don't know how long ago, but he's said it time and time again, a couple times, that one of his dreams is being he wants to fight, he wants to be a global, star around the world in boxing. So, and he recently talked about he wants to fight in the UK. That's one of his dreams, to fight in the UK more. So we can forget, ladies and gentlemen, okay? That's the thing here I want to highlight, and I think it's kind of a disappointing thing for me as a fan of fighting, of boxing. That for me it's disappointing that we're most likely not going to see, this is what I want to say here, guys, something I want to point out too. We're most likely not going to see Jermall Charlo, okay, versus Canelo Alvarez. Soon, at least. We're not going to see that. I'm almost positive we're not going to see this. Jermall Charlo versus Saul Canelo Alvarez at 160. He's going to spend all of 2021 fighting at 168. He's going to clean that out. Now, something else I want to say. This is something very important, okay? And I mentioned it before. I don't remember when, where, but in one of my sessions, one of my lives, whatever. It's in my receipts, whatever, right? In my channel. Canelo Alvarez was interviewed some time ago recently by a platform in media, ESPN, I don't know what the heck, something like that. And he said that he wants to retire at age 35. So that's like, I guess, the positive thing, and that's the hope we can have concerning that there is a possibility of Canelo fighting Jermall Charlo soon, and maybe even Andrade in the future. Why not, right? So 168 is going to be, the year for Canelo. 2021 is the year for 168 for Canelo, okay? He's going to most likely be in that 168 all year next year, okay? But at the same time, Canelo Alvarez recently said in that interview that I'm talking about that he wants to fight until he's 35 and retire at 35, and then after that, dedicate himself to Canelo promotions and golfing. Okay, that's what he said. So we'll see. I'm not too sure of that, though, because, I mean, as it is, he has a certain amount of wear and tear because recently, a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken, he was operated in his right knee, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people don't remember that, but he was operated, and he put it on Instagram and stuff like that, showed a photo. So, I mean, we know that he has sometimes an issue. Well, it seems like he does have an issue with his knees, at least his right knee, if I'm not mistaken. That was the knee that was operated, so that he had surgery on it. So, I don't know if he's going to last up to 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty young. I think he's like 30, something like that. So he has a few years left. But remember, he wants to fight more in the UK. Okay, so it looks less probable. That's what I want to point out here too. It looks less probable that Canelo's going to fight Jermall Charlo, that he's going to fight Andrade, that he's going to fight Benavidez. Okay, because he wants to focus more in the UK, man. I mean, that's something I got to point out here, okay? He wants to focus more, and he said it. He said it would be a dream come true to fight more in the UK. It's important to say that because he said it, okay? So why do I say this? Because it looks less probable. I repeat one more time. It's less probable he's going to fight David Benavidez. because Yildirim is going to be is the first shot, and I don't know why that is. I just don't understand how they do this stuff, but it is what it is, man. I mean, it's facts are facts, okay? So we're most likely not going to see this because he's just going to fight more in the UK. We're not going to see Demetrius Andrade. We're not going to see him fight, you know what I'm saying, Jermall Charlo at 160. You know, I just don't see it. He did talk about possibly fighting Spence in the future, but I'd rather see, you know, me as a fan, just a boxing fan generally, I would like to see him fight Maul, Charlo, Andrade, and Benavidez. I think those are great challenges for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Concerning his skill set. You know what I mean? So we just got to deal with it. As far as fans, you know, boxing fans, I'm not talking about Canelo fans, whatever you want to call it, you know, man fans, whatever. I'm not talking about that, and I'm not in that sector, okay? I'm just I'm in the boxing fan sector, okay? That's what it is with me. Me as a fan, I'd rather see, it would be, I mean, that's great though. I'm not knocking that. Saul Canelo Alvarez, I would rather see him fight Plant. Billy Joe Sanders, you know, a lot of people maybe knock that fight, but I would like to see it because styles make fights. Billy Joe Sanders has I like his style in the ring. I like his footwork. I think it's decent for a decent competition for Saul Canelo Alvarez. I think it's nice, you know. But what I really want to see as a fan, a boxing fan, is him fight Andrade, you know what I'm saying, Charlo, and up here, Benavidez. Why? Okay, now obviously that's the $1 million question that many people asked and a lot of people complained about as far as the boxing community. Why didn't Canelo fight Benavidez when he had the belt for approximately 5 years at 168? You know what I'm saying? He had it for years. And then all of a sudden he misses weight. The title gets stripped of him. And now Yildirim is won for that title, #1, to get it, the opportunity. And now Canelo wants to jump all over it. So that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just a question in my head, but whatever. You know, Canelo big fans are going to say this, you know, and the majority or whatever, I guess we could say the general box community that are not writers or whatever you want to call it, right? You know what I'm saying? Man fans, whatever. They'll say another thing. And I tend to, you know, stay in my own lane as a general boxing fan. That's what I am. I'm a fan of boxing. So, and that's a question that has lingered in my head, but whatever, it is what it is, man. So it looks like Canelo's not going to fight these guys. I just don't know, you know, if I see that, you know. If I see him fighting a Maul Charlo, if I see him fighting an Andrade, if I see him fighting Benavidez, you know what I mean? Because I think after he cleans up 168, Lord willing, if we see that, you know what I'm saying, 2022, he's probably going to fight more in the UK, fighters over there, you know what I mean? It's most likely because he said it out of his own mouth. He wants to, you know, it would be a dream come true for him to fight more in the UK and, you know, on the other side of the pond. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, but it is what it is. This video is just to clean up, I was going to say. It's just to, you know, talk about what he recently said. You know, check the links in the descriptions, you know, of Twitter where he said that in that video. So it was at the weigh-in, if I'm not mistaken, of him and versus Smith. So that's just like, it looks like that's the trajectory that Canelo's going to take. Canelo is in the driver's seat. I'm not going to say, oh, he's the face of boxing. I don't get into that talk. But he's in the driver's seat concerning his career now. Why? Because you already know he left Oscar De La Hoya. He left Golden Boy, excuse me. He left Golden Boy. So he's in the driver's seat now as far as his career. He's in the driver's seat. He's a free agent, you know, and he's linking up with the Zones for a couple fights or what have you. So it looks like that's just what he's going to do. It looks like it's all piecing together. We can see, kind of visualize what he's going to do. But we'll see, man. I really do hope for Maul Charlo while he's in his prime. I really want to see Canelo fight him while he's in his prime. You know, Andrade while he's in his prime. And Benavidez while he's in his prime. But the clock is ticking, and I don't think he's focused on that. So it is what it is, man. Comment below, please. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and subscribe for the new listeners. You know what I'm saying? This is neutral what I'm saying here. I'm just speaking facts. It is what it is. And just to see the trajectory Canelo is most likely going to take, you know, in his future for the career, you know, while he's in the driver's seat. You know, now that he's in the driver's seat, more like, right? So we'll see what happens, man. Renee Box Young, man, thank you so much. Comment below once again. And thank you so much for your support. Stay safe. Peace out, fam.